Hi everyone, Daniel from Kitchen Friend here. I'm going to take you through the steps of setting up a new account and customizing the database data to your own needs in this quick screencast. So obviously once you've set up your new account, I'm just going to quickly go through, put through some data here where I live. It's really important that you use your correct address data because the company information will be used for the ordering sheets that are created from the system. So be sure you put that in correctly. Then you'll be able to use that feature down the track. Put in your tax rate. So that is used to add a tax portion to the sell price of your menus, and your food cost indicator percentage, basically whatever threshold you want. So what will happen is, like the message says here, whatever percentage you put in when you cost recipes later or cost menus later as well, if you go over that percentage, it'll go red, so it'll give you that indicator, and anything below your food cost indicator will be green, so you at least know you're costing your recipe and menus on track. Measurement types. Now we offer two options here: metric and US, or metric and imperial. Once you select these, they can't be changed. The only way to change it is to set up a new account. So you need to choose this carefully. There is some difference in the US and the imperial measurements, even though they use the same names for everything. So that's why we've kind of split it that way. So being in Australia, I use metric, and I tend to use some US cookbooks, so I'm going to use metric and US. And results per page, that's just how many things show up on the table list. So I usually keep it around 25. You can change that that one can be changed whenever. Once you've selected that, click update details. It'll ask you if are you sure you want to use metric in US. I'm going to hit yes. Okay. You can now go on to the rest of the site. So first thing to do is to go to the product page. And what you'll notice here is there's over 200 default products preloaded in here for you. And this is so that you can start costing up some recipes when you're on the free account and really get a good feel of the program to make sure it's the right one for you. So that's why we did that. It also gives you the opportunity to, rather than import your own data, you can just go in there and change some prices of things and change what supplier maybe they're attached to, for instance. As an example, I've just changed the supply for those couple of products. So you can customize this data if you want. But what we've found works really well is that you just delete all this default data and start from scratch with your own. So the best way to do that on this page, just make sure you're viewing all your products, just like I did there. I want to select all products and then simply just go to hit delete. And you'll notice it just double checks, and there we go. I've just deleted all of the default product data from this new account. What you can also do is go to the suppliers page, which had some default dummy supplies loaded in there as well. Just to get you a good feel is I like to delete all of those, empty out that. I'll just take you to the list page as well. Now the list page comes with some default stuff loaded as well. You don't have to delete any of these. I actually suggest leaving this in here. And when we do import our product list from our CSV file, any package types or any other product types that aren't here will be loaded into this page as well, so it'll do that for you. Same with the suppliers. When we input our product list, any supplier names will get loaded into this area as well. So if we cruise back to the product page, we select import. It gives you a breakdown, as you can see here, of how to set up your CSV file. If you know how to use Excel quite well, that's pretty easy to do. However, if you're not that confident with Excel, we've provided a download template file, which is basically it's an Excel file with a couple of tabs in it. So here's the Excel file. It has two tabs. One of it is the product list, where it shows you how to copy and paste your data in here. So it's essentially one column for each type of data: code, supplier, type, product, description, all the way over to yield. Yield is an optional field, so you don't actually have to put that in there. But essentially just copy and paste your data in here. The other tab, instructions, does give you a step-by-step walkthrough of how to do all this as well. As you can see, it talks about preparing your data, which we've just done, so deleting all the preloaded data, populating your spreadsheet, which we can see here. There's a bit of data in here, and I'll go through that in a bit more. There's once you've got the data in there, save it as a CSV file, and then step 4 is uploading it into the system. So essentially what you want to have is a file, for instance, like I've got here. I've got a file I've already set up, so you can have a bit of a look here. It's essentially very similar to the preloaded data we had in there before. But as I'm kind of scrolling through, you can see all I've done is I've got my supplies all listed here, products, and the size, unit type, and cost. It might take you a few minutes to copy and paste all your data into this Excel file. Essentially, once you're ready to make sure it's as a CSV file, go to File and Save As, and always save your file as a Windows comma-separated CSV. That'll make sure that it imports correctly. I'm on a Mac, so it tends to ask me a few questions. This workbook contains features, so I'm just going to hit continue. So I've just saved the file as a CSV. I'll close down this. Choose file. Products. Here we go. I've just attached that file I saved before, and now hit import products, and here we go. I've just imported that file. You can see there's, again, I've gone back to 226 items in my list. If I go to my suppliers page, I'll see that the supplies that were imported, supply names that were imported with that product list now show in this section of the site. And if I go over to my list page as well, I can see some package types got imported, and doesn't look like the product types changed. They're all the same. So there you go. Probably takes you less than 2 minutes to set up your product list, and now you've got a fully customized inventory, which you can go and start costing recipes, costing menus, and creating purchase orders to send to your suppliers. Hope this helps.